All right, I'm gonna talk a little bit about hitting shots fat. So the first thing we got to know is what is our center of gravity. So in all sports, when we're being athletic, we have a sense of our center of gravity or balance. But in golf, I use the center of my head, the center of my sternum, and the center of my pelvis as my center of gravity. So in the golf swing, we need our center of gravity. So this yellow line represents my center. I need my center of gravity to be at the bottom of the arc at impact. So you notice there on this little iron shot, with the stock ball position off my left ear, I'm going to need my center to get to the bottom of the arc. Because what happens is, when my arms fire back in front of my pecs, that's where I'm going to be at the bottom of the arc, when the arms are directly in front of the pecs. So I need where that is to be at the bottom of the arc to make sure that I'm not hitting back here. And so what happens is, I'm coming in, I'm leveling out, then the arms come in front of the body, and if my center's in the right spot, then my low point is going to be in front of the golf ball. Now, if my center of gravity is not in the right spot, let's say maybe I come up and out of it and my upper body tips back, well then when I straighten my arms, everything's back here. So the first thing is having an understanding of where your center is, and then having an understanding of where it moves to, so that when the arms fire, I know right where they're firing to. Because if I have my center at this yellow line, I move my center slightly forward, all I have to do is straighten my arms and I know right where this club's going to bottom out. So think of an airplane coming in to land and then take back off again. You want the center of your body to match where the wheels are going to touch on the runway. If the wheels are back here, well then this is not going to bottom out in the right spot. If I'm too far forward, that's not going to bottom out in the right spot either. So I got to have a sense of where my center is at setup and where my center is at the bottom of the arc. Now, if my ball position's forward, I'm going to have a little bit of a weight shift here to get my center in the right spot. But let's say I put the ball back in my stance. Well, now my center is in front of the ball. So that's why most amateurs like putting the ball back in their stance when they're beginning, because they can finally feel the feeling of compression. Now, we don't have to throw the ball in the back of our stance just to feel that. We just have to make the proper adjustments when we move in transition to get our centers in the right spot. But I just wanted to point that out, that if I have a wedge, well, my center's already in front, but if the ball's more forward, sometimes even with a driver, the bottom of the arc's going to be behind the ball. So that would be a different scenario, because we like to hit slightly up on the driver. So in terms of a drill, here's a great drill. I want you to set up with an alignment rod in the middle of your, just directly underneath your center of gravity, and then make some practice swings, learning how to fire and take divots in front of this yellow line. Because if anything happens funky, I'm going to hit that alignment rod. And you would know that the airplane bottomed out too early. So I hope this helps in terms of hitting fat shots. We got to know where our center of gravity is, and we got to know where it is at impact, so that we know right where these arms are firing to, and I know right where the bottom of my arc is at all times. And then from there, there's going to be minor adjustments, because a driver is a longer club, the ball's more up in my stance effectively, and I'm going to have the bottom of the arc be behind the ball with a driver. But with a wedge or with an 8-iron, bottom of the arc is going to be in front of the golf ball, or the low point of the divot is the bottom of the arc. So play around with that, have a sense of where your center of gravity is, have a sense of where it is at impact, and the fat shot should drift away. Thanks.